The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondell.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Stage Door Show. This is Dave Hondell. Very honored tonight to have my guests, multi-Grammy winner William Lee Golden, member of the legendary group, the Oak Ridge Boys, who's written a soon-to-be-released single entitled I've Got My Heart on You. It's a wonderful duet with an award-winning singer, songwriter, and guitarist, Danni Stefanetti, both amazing artists. So thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you for having us, Dave.
Thank you,
It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Well, it's our honor and our pleasure. And, I want to start with you, William, on this, because I know this is a song that you've written. And I understand that there's a special meaning behind the song itself. And, so tell our listeners what that meaning is.
Well, it's the title of the song actually is a song that is a title that it's words that my youngest son, I've got 4 sons, and Solomon, my youngest son, when he was 5 or 6 years old, there's a line that he used to call, and he used to leave me a message on my phone when I'd be on the road traveling with the Oak Ridge Boys 150 days a year. I'd get off stage sometimes and come back, check my phone messages, and there'd be a message from Solomon. He'd call me on his mother's phone when he'd be 5 or 6 years old, and he'd say, "Hey, Dad, this is Solomon. I got my heart on you." And that became a saying that his words of expressing his love. And so as he grew up, that kind of became our words sometime for him, I mean, it's Solomon, I love you, and I got my heart on you. And he would use those words. And then he grew up and he's 23 now, but when he was like 11 and 12, his mother, we divorced, and she moved to Austin, Texas, and took Solomon with her. And it was hard for me to reach him. I'd try to call him, and I wouldn't get answers, and I'd try to message and leave messages, and it was just hard to communicate with him being that far and him being young and in school. So it was, the song came when I was one weekend here at home by myself, and it was feeling frustrated that life was passing so quick, and that I was missing out on parts of his life that was vital to him and to me personally. And it was something that was heart-wrenching, and it was a weekend that I was reflecting on all of that and feeling like that life slipping away. And so I started, I was emotional that weekend, and I started putting these words together, going back, remembering from the time he was born and through time, and the times we'd travel together as a family, sharing the world with him, going to Europe, taking him with us, and going on winter vacations down to tropical St. John Island down in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and going and spending a week or 10 days in the islands in the wintertime with him. But it was things that we had done together, traveling to Europe and things. And I put all of that in a song, and the chorus. And then I never had anybody to share that with, to play the music for me, that I could put a demo of it. And Jeff Panzer knew that I had written something, but I didn't share with him what it was because I didn't have it on a tape. And so he kept talking. And it was about a year or so before I shared it with Jeff, and he wanted me to sing it. Then he kept saying, "Well, man, so he got to thinking about it. He wanted me to send it to him, and he wanted to see if Danni could help me put the music to it." And I certainly admired her as a talent, and she's an incredible guitar player, incredible singer, and an incredible songwriter. She's written over 300 songs herself, and to have someone with that experience to help me put mine into the form of putting the music behind a song that I'd written, and helped me to repeat a couple of lines in the chorus and the bridge that needed to be repeated. And so she helped me in all those ways to actually put it into form and put it on tape. And she brought her, she put the different music to it, and she brought her computer here to our home in Tennessee. And she brought a good microphone that she had records on. And we were here in our piano room and put it together. And she set up the mic, and we got around it, and her playing guitar and me singing and putting my vocals on it, and then her putting her vocals on it and harmonizing. And so we did that here, and Jeff Panzer had Adam Wagner to bring a video camera over here and to set it up and to capture what we were doing. And so that's what we did. And it was, I guess, last year when we put all this together, but it's just now we've decided that it's time to see to kind of share what we did together. And so that's the reason we're going to release it to the public here on the 27th of this month.
We're so glad you're doing that. And then Danni, you're from Australia originally. I know you're based out of California now, but how about working with a legend as well, like with William here, and been around music for years and years and years. And how was that opportunity for you? Because I know you're an award-winning, like I said, vocalist and guitarist yourself. So how was it when you got to work with William here?
Thank you. Yeah, originally from Perth, Australia, and then to work with the magical and legendary William Lee Golden was incredible, especially when I saw the Oak Ridge Boys for the first time only about a year or more ago at the Opry, and then seeing at the Elvira shoot, seeing William come out of the bus and people knowing who he was. I was working with a friend, to me, he was just treating me like a daughter. And then when I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't realize who I was working with. He's such a legend in country music, but he's so humble about it that he doesn't, when you work with him, it's just a breeze. He's a joy to work with. So I really enjoyed the process and how it happened so organically, and the words were so beautiful. He's such a great songwriter. So it really has been a real joy, this whole project.
And William, working with Danni, this must have been, throughout your whole career like this, and then meeting and getting to work with Danni here, kind of do a nice duet with somebody like with Danni's talent. And this is your first song that you've written, I understand it too, as well.
Yeah, it is the first song I've ever written. And like I say, Danni's written over 300 songs, and to work with someone with that background that understands from the beginning to the ending of making songs, or putting them together actually, and putting your words, your feelings out. And but to sing with her, she added a freshness to the song that it needed. She also kicked it up a notch as far as the tempo, and from what I was originally, being an older guy, she brought a more youthful, contemporary feel to the song, and with her skills on the guitar and also putting the other instruments that she was able to put into it, it was amazing. And then she brought all of that here. We got in here and put it together here at in our piano room here at home. It's this old home that I live in, an old home that was built in 1786. So to be out here at this old home and to be making the music with her, it was, it was refreshing to me. It's also uplifting to me. And then to hear what a song that I had written and the feelings that I had when I was writing it that weekend, and hear it come to life with the sparkle that she added to it with her music and her singing. I'm just overwhelmed at how it turned out, with having something that I could actually share with my son. That's something that he can have as a gift from me, and my feelings for my family.
Well, I think that's special, William, because I think a lot of times, people, have ideas of what they want to do, or they want to say something special to like their loved ones or their children or their parents or their grandparents. And sometimes it's too late. And the fact that you're able to do this and it's not too late, I think is a very special thing. And, really, it's exciting, to hear something like that and to have that special meaning behind it. One of the things I wanted to ask you about being in the music business for so long, now with country music, people coming into country music that aren't traditionally country music singers. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, is that something that is accepted?
Well, the way I feel, everybody's got their own opinion, but the way I feel about it, to have people like Post Malone come into Nashville here, and he's got a brand new album out here, but he duetted with some of the biggest names in country music of today and yesterday. And he duetted from people like Morgan Wallen to Dolly Parton to basically Dwight Yoakam and people like that. And Jelly Roll, I think he did a thing. But Post Malone, yeah, what he's doing, he's sincere about wanting to explore the world of country music, through music. And he's an artist himself and a writer, creating. Then you got Beyonce. I think that's great too. It tells you what country music is and how it's really come to the forefront of all music. It's the most popular music in the world today, really. You got Taylor Swift can go into a town and sell out 3 stadiums, a whole weekend of sellout shows in a stadium. Then you can have Morgan Wallen come in to Atlanta and sell out 3 nights of stadium shows. And he could go into any other town and sell out 2 and 3 nights of stadium shows. So country music is the most popular, selling more records, drawing more people than any other music in the world right now. And, it was rock and roll for a while, then hip hop come along, and rap music, hip hop, it come along and pushed rock and roll to the side, and MTV and VH1. And then country music has slowly come along, and you got people like Taylor Swift, who took country music to a new plateau. Garth Brooks took it to another plateau. And but then these young people like Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs, I say that it's a compliment to country music for people like Beyonce, with her talent and her background, to come and want to cut a country album, and to have people like Post Malone come to town and to team up and sing songs with the biggest names in country music today, which is Morgan Wallen and Jelly Roll, these people, and Lainey Wilson. He did, I think, a thing with Lainey Wilson. So we're talking about country music is the music of the people, and that's what it's finally it's coming into its adulthood, so to speak, Yeah. But again, when you take the other music forms, that the big people like Beyonce that want to come and cut a country album, I say, hooray!
Yeah,
because her interpretation is important too.
Yeah,
and the songs, country music songs, they tell stories about life,
right?
And they're songs that most people can take their whole families to see.
Right,
is the thing about it. So
not have to worry about what's it, hold their ears closed. Right?
Yeah. People like Lainey Wilson that's coming into business, and then you got the young girl like Danni Stefanetti. That's
there you go.
She's new on the scene, but yet she's going to have a bright future.
Yeah,
and it has a light inside of her that shines. That she's got that same thing that Dolly Parton had. She has a genuine bubbling spirit inside of love and happiness, and that comes shines out wherever she goes. And Danni has that same light that shines inside of her.
And Danni, coming from Australia, because I know you had success there, and then coming
Yeah.
to, taking the leap to come to America. I understand, there's, the music scene there is big, but coming here to America, I mean, can really blow up your career to a higher level. So talk about your experience coming here to America, and how has it been for you?
Yeah, after over 10 years of doing from coast to coast through the outback of Australia, through Kalgoorlie to Perth to the outskirts like Bunbury and all these little suburbs in Perth with my dad as my roadie manager, security guard. Over the years, I got to a level where I was playing at a lot of the venues and I needed to stretch myself, but it was a big risk leaving my hometown, my family, my friends, and my comfort zone. And then when I moved to America, it was so scary. All the highways are so big, all the food and the drinks are so much more supersized. But I got used to it slowly. And Palm Springs and out here in the desert is a little more chill, like where I'm from. But I've really enjoyed how America has embraced me and like given me a warm welcome, and I'm surrounded by really good people who love the music I do, and I love the music they do, and they're just family, they're friends now. So yeah, I'm so blessed that I came to America and have had the opportunity to do what I love out here. It's a dream.
Well, and just for our audience, who a lot of young artists themselves, and I'm going to pose this question to you, and also William as well. But I'm going to start with you, Danny. Advice for our listeners: somebody that's just getting started in the music business, maybe doesn't have representation, they're just getting started. So, from your own journey, what kind of advice can you give somebody that's just starting out?
I would say just hone in on your craft, learn from people who you want to be like, study their records, study their books. If you don't fit the formula or the box, don't let it dishearten you. I failed music in school because I couldn't read music, but I can write it. So don't let one thing that works for another person, you might tick differently, your brain might work differently. So find what you're good at, whether that's playing by ear or writing music by theory. Everybody's wired differently. So don't be, if people think you're a little weird or a little like think differently, don't let that put you off. The music industry, none of us really know what we're doing. We're just doing it, So just be yourself, basically.
That's great advice. And how about you, William, from your years of experience?
Well, it's first of all, you got to love what you're doing, and you got to make a sacrifice. It don't come to you normally. You got to go to where the people are, and that's what we do. And like I say, the Oak Ridge Boys have toured 150 days a year for years. This year, we're back half of that. We're doing about 75 dates this year. But people have to follow your visions, and you got to not get distracted. You got to keep your focus on who you are and where you're going. And there's been people early in the early years that try to discourage you. That won't work. It won't happen. And I know it would happen. We took a group a quartet that come out of a different music and wound up having hit records in country music and crossover records. But I remember all the people that told me that it couldn't happen. But I didn't get distracted by naysayers. It won't happen for them, but that's not where I'm going. I'm going straight ahead with what I know will happen and following my visions of what I see, not being like everybody else, but cut your own path and follow that. And again, you got to keep your focus and don't allow people to distract you and pull you in directions you know is not the right direction. But and take opportunities. When an opportunity comes, you got to accept those opportunities. It's like Jeff Panzer put Danny and I together to do this duet with. I'm an old guy. She's a young, fresh talent with a lot of experience as a young girl, far as her talents. And she has an old soul, so to speak, inside her. And to work with her has been a real joy. And what she brings to what I was doing with this song, she put a freshness to it and put a little kick to it with up tempo to what my original feel was, but it made a much better song. The feeling she helped put to it. And she did all that musically. She made all of the music for this song and put all the rhythms and put the entire thing together, even some steel guitar sounds that she put into it. So my hat's off to Danni Stefanetti for her talents and for sharing them with us, and with me for a song that I've written. And but I'll always thank her for that, for help me put it together in such a wonderful way that I'm so happy and proud to share it with my son that inspired me to write the song.
Well, first of all, I thank you both. It's just a huge honor to have you both on the show. And I've got My Heart on You single coming out on the 27th. So everybody, all my listeners, make sure you keep your eyes open for that. And the stream, I'm guessing it's going to be on all streaming platforms, correct?
Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. We'll definitely be watching for that. We'll put it on our social media as well. And I wish you nothing but the best, both of you. And I just again, it's so I'm honored to have you both on the show, and welcome back anytime you want to come back. But again, just, best of luck with this new single, and thank you for taking the time tonight.
Thanks for sharing your show with us and your time, sir.
Thank you, Dave, so much for having us.
We'd love to come back sometime.